Hey guys, welcome to Homework Help for Year 8, Weeks 7 and 8. In this video, we're going to revise the two methods used to solve simultaneous equations. The first method is the substitution method, and the second method is the elimination method. So let's go to the worksheet. In week 7, question 4 on page 16, we're asked to solve the following simultaneous equations using the substitution method. I'll just do just the last few questions as an example, and you can do the rest. So, let's look at question J here. Oops. It says we got two equations. You got 2x minus 3y is equal to 19, and you got y is equal to 2x minus 13. So what we got to do is we have to use the substitution method. That means we have to substitute something. Substitution just means replace. Okay, so I have to replace something. Actually, let me just call this equation 1 and equation 2. So what I'll do is, you see in equation 2 you have y as the subject matter. Y is the one that's equal to something. Okay, so that's the subject matter. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to place this into, whenever we see y, we just replace it with 2x minus 13. So, what that means is this. We're going to substitute equation 2 into equation 1. So, equation 1 says 2x minus 3y, but we know that y is equal to 2x minus 13. So instead of saying y, I'm going to say 2x minus 13, and that's equal to 19, like in the equation 1 says. So now we just have to expand this and solve for x. We can solve for x because there's only one pronumeral, and with one pronumeral we only need one equation to solve for the pronumeral. So in here you have 2x. Now we have to expand this part. So it's minus 3 multiplied with 2x. That becomes minus 6x. And then minus 3 times a minus 13. And that will become plus 39 equals to 19. Okay, let's collect the like terms. You got 2x minus 6x. That becomes minus 4x. Now I want to get rid of this minus 39. Plus 39. So I need to just minus 39 to both sides. Actually, I'll just do it step by step so you see. Might confuse you if I go too fast. So what we have is this. Okay, all I did was just collect the like terms, and I got minus 4x. Now, from this point, I'm going to take away 39 to both sides of the equation. Oops, made a mistake here. It's supposed to be 19. So we take away 39 to both sides, and what are we left with? On the left hand side you have minus 4x. This cancels out, so there's nothing here. And on this side you have 19 minus 39, which gives me minus 20. Now I want to get x by itself, so what do? This means minus 4 times x. So to get rid of the minus 4, I just have to divide it by minus 4. Because I multiply by minus 4, I divide by minus 4. Okay, and I divide this side by minus 4 as well. The other side, let me just rub this out, hold on. So divide this by minus 4 and divide this by minus 4. When you divide by minus 4, these two cancels out, and you're left with x is equal to 5. There we go. Now, we have x equals to 5, so let's call this equation 3. Now we're going to sub equation 3 back into one of these, either that one or that one. So might as well sub it back into number 2 because you already have y as a subject matter. You have y equals something. So if we sub it into 2, we get y straight away. We're trying to find y, okay? Because we have x, but we need to find y as well because these have 2 pronumerals that we need to find. We found the x, now we need to find the other one, which is y, so let's go. We're going to sub 3, so we, instead of writing substitute every time, we're just going to put sub equation 3 into equation 2. Okay, so what does that mean? I'm going to do, so in equation 2, whoops, you have y equals to, here's your equation 2, this one here, y equals 2x minus 13. So I'm going to rewrite that. Y equals to 2x minus 13. Now I'm going to sub this one, x equals to 5, into here. So you're going to say y is equal to 2 times, whenever I see x, I think of 5. So I'm going to say 2 times 5 minus 13. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 minus 13 is minus 3. So therefore, y is equal to minus 3. And you solve for both x and y. There's your both x and y. And you can test to see if your solutions are correct. So if x is equal to 5 and y equals to minus 3, let's see if it's correct. We just put it back into the equation. You got the 2 equation. I'll just rewrite down here. 2x minus 3y is equal to 19, and you have y equals to 2x minus 13. Okay, so let me put this in blue. You have, remember, x is equal to 5. So this becomes 2 times 5 minus 3 times y. Now we know that y is equal to minus 13. Minus 3. So that's 3 times minus 3. Does that give us 19? Let's see. This will be 10. 2 times 5 is 10. Minus, actually, let's see. Minus 3 times a minus 3 becomes a positive 9. And that becomes 19, which is correct. It works out. Now let's see if the second one works out. So y, so that's minus 3 is equal to 2 times x. X we said was 5 minus 13. Okay, so that means minus 3 is equal to 10 minus 13, and that's also true. So therefore, x has to equal to 5 and y has to equal to minus 3 for these 2 equations to be true. Okay, so that's the first one. Let's go for the second one. Question K. K is equal to, oops. Okay, question K, you have 4x. You have the question here. Now what we're going to do, let's call this equation 1 and this one equation 2. We're going to sub equation 2 into equation 1. And what does that look like? Well, whenever you see a y, you're gonna replace it with 13 minus 5x. So the equation 1 is written as 4x minus 7y. So instead of writing a y, I'm going to put brackets. I'm going to put the whole thing in there. 13 minus 5x. You have to put the brackets. Okay. Equals to 26. Because the reason we put the brackets is because we're putting the whole thing into there, not just the 13. Alright, now let's expand this. You got 4x. Now you got minus 7 times by 13. 7 times 12 is 84. 7 times 13 is 91. So therefore that's minus 91. And then minus 7 times a minus 5. So what does that give us? 7 times 5 is 35, but minus times minus will be a plus, and that'll be 35x. And that's going to equal to 26. Right. So let's collect the like terms on the left-hand side. You have 4x plus 35x, so that becomes 39x. Minus 91, which is still there. okay, equals to 26. Now let's get rid of this 91 here. Let's plus 91 to both sides. And you're gonna get 39x is equal to, what is this? Plus 6 will be 97, plus 20 will be 117, I believe. Okay, now we just have to divide both sides by 39. Divide this by 39 and divide this by 39. So you have x is equal to 117 divided by, let me see, how many 39s go into? I believe it should be 3 if I'm not mistaken. So 3 times 39, 3 times 9 is 27, 3 times 3 is 9, plus 2 is 11. Yes, so that'll exactly be 3. So x is 3. Now we found x to be 3. Let's call this equation 3. Okay. Now what we're going to do, let's get rid of this first. We're going to sub equation 3 into one of these equations here. We're going to sub it back into one of, whoops, what happened there? We're going to sub it back into one of these, either that one or that one. So I'm just going to sub it back into equation 2 because I already have y equals something. That's a lot easier to deal with. So equation 2 is y is equal to, what was it? 13 minus 5x. 13 minus 5x. So that's y is equal to 13 minus 5 times x. 5 times x, we said x is equal to 3. We just found that out. So therefore 5 times 3. So therefore y is equal to 13 minus 15, which means y is equal to minus 2. There's our two solutions. X equals to 3, y equals to minus 2, and you can test it out yourself to see if it's correct. If it's not correct, that means that one of the steps must be incorrect. Something must have gone wrong in one of the steps, and you can just look back at your working out to see where you went wrong. It should be right, I think. Anyway, all right. That's the substitution method. Let's go to the elimination method on week 8. This is week 8, page 20, question 5. I'm going to do just the 2 questions here. So question G, you got 7x minus 2y equals 27, and you got 3x minus 2y equals 7. So the way we eliminate this, I'm just going to rewrite this. Alright, the way we eliminate this is to see which one is the same. You got here 7x and 3x, so that's not the same. And over here you got 2y and 2y. These are the same, so therefore we can eliminate them. I'll show you how to eliminate them. So we're going to call this equation 1 and equation 2. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to look at these two, and we're going to these two equations, and we're going to either add them or we're going to subtract them. We have to figure out which one we do to eliminate one of the pronumerals. You got two pronumerals, you got your x and you got your y. Okay, now that these two are the same, we can eliminate them, either adding or subtracting. So in this case, I would have to subtract, okay? Because if you have a minus 2y, subtract the minus 2y will give me 0. Here, I'll show you what I mean. Minus 2y, take away another minus 2y is going to give me 0, because minus and minus becomes a plus. So that's minus 2y plus 2y, which obviously is equal to 0. Okay, or 0y. Or that's 0y just means 0, because 0 times anything is a 0. So there you go. So when we minus these two equations, the y will eliminate themselves out because they're the same. So let's get rid of this. So let's look at the x's. You got 7x minus 3x. So that will give me 4x. Minus 2y minus a minus 2y will give me 0, so there's nothing to do there. So you can add a 0, minus 0, doesn't matter. And then you got 27 minus 7, that'll give me 20. So you have 4x is equal to 20. So we divide both sides by 4, and that'll give us x is equal to 5. And there's one of your solutions. Now to find a second solution, we're going to call this equation 3. And we're going to sub it back into one of these equations. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write sub equation 3 into, let me see, which one would help? Just find something that's easy to do. Probably the second one. The second one has smaller numbers, so that's probably easy to do. So sub 3, equation 3 into equation 2. Now equation 2 says 3x. Now instead of writing x, I'm going to replace it with a 5 because x is equal to 5. Minus 2y is equal to 7. Okay. So 3 times 5 would be 15, minus 2y is equal to 7. Now I'm going to minus 15 from both sides of the equation. Okay, and you have minus 15 minus 15 which equals 0, so that means I've got 0 minus 2y is equal to 7 minus a 15 will give me negative 8. So I have minus 2y is equal to negative 8. Now, I want to get rid of this minus 2, so I'm going to divide it by minus 2. Divide this by minus 2. Now, when you divide it by minus 2, these will cancel out. And on the other side, you have minus 8. So on the left-hand side, you have y, just y, because the minus 2 is cancelled out. And on the right-hand side, you have minus divided by minus will give me a plus. 8 divided by 2 will give me a 4. So y is equal to positive 4. Done. So you have your x and you have your y. And there's your answer. Now, if you want, we can test to see if our answer is correct. So the original question was 7x minus 2y is equal to 27. And you have your 3x minus 2y is equal to 7. And we have our solutions, which is x is equal to 5 and y is equal to 4. Alright, so let's sub that into both of our equations to see if they're correct. So let's look at equation, let's look at the first one here. Now if x equals to 7, x equals to 5, that'll be 7 times 5 minus 2 times 4 equals to 27. This will be 35 minus 8, and that will give me 27, which is correct. Alright, next one. Let's see if this is correct. So you got 3 times x. Now x we said is to be 5. Okay, so 3 times 5 minus 2 times y, which is equal to 4, equals to 7. See if that's right. Okay. So that's 15 minus 8, and that indeed gives me 7. So they're both correct. Alright, we've checked it, and it both happens to be true. Alright, moving on to question H. Okay. So question H, you got your equation 1 and equation 2. I like to label the equations so we know what we're doing. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take equation. Oh wait, hold on. Did I do? Hold on. Okay, that's cool. All right, back to this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take equation 1 and equation 2. I'm going to do something with it. So either subtract or minus. So if we were to add, what would happen? If you add these two, you're going to get 4x Okay, so because 2x plus 2x is 4x, plus 7y plus with a 3y or plus with 10y equals to, this will be 102. So that doesn't eliminate anything. You still got your x, you still got your y, so plussing won't work. Okay. Now we know that these two are the same, so we can use elimination method pretty easily. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take away instead. So I'm going to say equation 1 take away equation 2, and that's going to give me what? So when you take away, so 2x minus 2x is 0. Okay, and then you got a positive 7y plus with 3y, that gives me positive 10y equals to, now, oh whoops, did I add again? Whoops, okay, 7y minus 3y, so positive 7y minus a positive 3y, that gives me positive 4y equals to 73 minus 29. So you take away from each other and you're going to get, let's see, 4 over here, this will be 44. So therefore 4y is equal to 44. Now let's divide each side by 4, and you're going to get y is equal to 11. There's one of our solutions. We're going to call this equation 3. Okay, next one is, let's see, let me rub this out. We're going to sub equation 3 into one of these. So which one should I do? I'll do the smaller one. I'm going to sub it back in here. So I'm going to say, whoops, equation, you sub into equation 2. So I'll say 2x, we don't know what x is, we'll leave it as 2x plus 3y. Now we know that y is equal to 11, okay? So we say 3 times 11 instead of 3 times y, so that equals to 29. Now we solve for this. So 2x plus with 33 equals to 29. So let's take away 33 to both sides. And what do we get? You're going to get 2x. Now this one is cancel each other out, becomes 0. Equals to 29 take away 33. Now what's that? Let me see, 1, 4, so it'll be minus 4. So we know that 2x equals to minus 4. We divide both sides by 2. And you're going to get x is equal to minus 2. And that's your second solution there. Alright, so we got x equals to minus 2 and y is equal to 11. There's your two solutions. You can check it out on your own if you want. Okay, so I think that's it. There's the elimination method and the substitution method in action. Alright, hope that helps.